Okay, that works.
Yeah.
So, Loie. This is my mom, Loie.
Hi.
And today, on Healthy Living Holly, we are doing an interview. And so, we did the Diamond Dash 5K at Bear Mountain today. It was very hard, but I'm gonna interview my mom. And yeah, how was your race?
Well, it was hard.
It was hard.
It was very hilly, really hilly.
It was like going downhill a mountain and like zigzagging your way back up the mountain to the finish.
But some of the mountains were straight up.
Yeah, like it was hard.
And my heart, oh my God. Got some good cardio in, I suppose.
True that.
Yes. And I learned how to run downhill. Holly's got a lot of tips. Do you know? She, years ago, she taught me how to walk up a hill and propel my shoulders forward, which I still do to this day. But today, she taught me how to lean back going down a hill and smaller steps.
Yeah. Sit back a little and then you don't feel like you're gonna fall down the
That's
damn
right.
hill.
And it works. And she also showed me to put my hands up behind my head so that I can open up my lungs for more air when I am out of breath, which I was out of breath for a lot of it.
But she did really good. Like, they had little orange cones along the way as like markers, and then they had, I think each kilometer was marked.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So we used those, and we'd be like, "Okay, we're running to this spot," and then
And she
we're
wouldn't
walking
even
at
let me
this
turn
spot.
around at the 3K spot.
No,
Like, we could have just been done so fast.
no.
So it's on the way home and on the way back to the finish line. And if you've ever been to Bear Mountain, well, you've probably overlooked Bear Mountain, but you've probably not walked a lot of it. And the inclines, again, were just
It was
straight
like
up,
this.
turn.
Yeah.
Straight up, turn. Oh, straight up, turn.
Like,
oh, just a couple more corners and you're there. And
says the lady in the sparkling dress
who organized it.
and running shoes who organized it, and she's like, "Oh, you're almost there." Like, easy for you to
Barf.
say, lady.
And so we walked past her, and you know, Holly was full of so many encouraging, "Come on, Mom, you've got this, you can do this." And then she's like, "Oh, come on, Mom." And then I'm just like, "Just don't talk to me right now. And
Don't
she was
even
like,
look at me. I was like, okay, drama queen.
So then I started walking backwards. And I got to the last hill, and I still had to go backwards because literally at that point, I know it was only one more hill, but I thought that I was going to puke.
She didn't.
And so I'm just kind of loitering at the bottom of the hill, and Holly's like, "Mom, you got to keep moving. Come on, come on." So I started going up the hill backwards. And then she says, "Mom, we're almost there. We're almost there. You can do this. Turn around." And I'm like, "No, I can't turn around." Meanwhile, I was right at the finish line, and the guy who ticked me off the list or whatever, he says, "You know, normally people are looking at the finish line. They don't have their back to the finish line." But they were full of kudos, as was the lady in the slacks.
Yeah, there's a lady wearing like actual dress pants. And I was like, "Come on, Mom, we need to like run past
So we
the
did.
dress pants lady."
We kept ahead of her till the very end, and look at, there goes dress pants flying past.
And then she starts cheering for my mom, and she's like, "Come on, you can do it.
You can do it. You can do it." And yeah.
Yes.
Anyways, I did it. And yeah, it wasn't an easy one, that's for sure. I had set myself up for trying to finish in 45 minutes, but I didn't do that.
It was a hard course to get 45 minutes if you are not a regular runner. And like, I think even if I ran the course, I would have been like at least half an hour, maybe. I don't know, depends. But it was hard.
It was. And the burn. Oh, the burn. There was just a lot of burn. But it was good. It was worth it in the end. And, you know, I will probably start to tear up when I tell you guys this. But
Aww.
she is got to be my biggest fan.
Of course I
The
am!
whole way through, she just kept saying, "Come on, Mom. Come on, Mom." She didn't care who heard that I was following and I was her mom. And of course, the ones that did hear, I would say, you know, she's a mean daughter, and you know, she's got a whip, and that's what my punishment's gonna be if I don't go fast. But she is my biggest fan, and you know what? The only one that's gonna make me get into a better time is Holly. She is. She will be the one, because, you know, it doesn't matter what race it is. Holly could lap me. She could have done that course twice over in the time it took me, but she doesn't, because she wants to be right beside me. She wants to be, "Come on, Mom, you've got this. You can do this." And yeah, I know I can do it, but it's hard and I just want to stop sometimes.
I was like, "You've given birth to 2 children. You can do this." And she's like,
than this 5K.
"That wasn't hard."
Oh, it was way easier.
Okay, well then.
Way easier.
But yeah.
Yes. And once I was done, and then once I was actually not climbing a hill anymore and I was on flat, then I was much better.
Yeah.
Much better. So thank you, Holly. I just
You're welcome.
love the stuffing out of you.
I love you too.
And so the goal is for the next race will be the Goddess Run. It's a new course. I really hope to hell that there's no hills, or hills like Bear Mountain. And you know, I really should have known about this whole Bear Mountain thing, because I did a monster run there, and the hills, they were there then
Monstrous.
too. They were
Maybe
monstrous.
that's why they call it the Monster Run.
Oh my God. Anyways, so Holly's gonna help me shave off that time again. And I know that if I'm on a better incline, and you know, from the resolution run to this, I have 10 pounds less on my body. So the time for the next one, I will have more than that 10 pounds off my body. So it's got to get easier.
It does.
Yeah,
It
says
gets
the
easier.
marathon runner.
But even still, like, running is one of those things where you might have a really good run and you're like, "Oh yeah, I'm making such good progress," and you feel really confident in your abilities, and then maybe you go out the next day and you have an awful run. You feel like you walk half of it. You're like minutes and minutes, maybe a half an hour slower than you usually are, and then you just feel discouraged. So I was telling my mom earlier, I was like, running is pretty much all mental. Like, your legs know what to do, and
because at that last hill, mentally I was like, I cannot do this. I cannot do this. I had myself worked up because of these hills, and I was just like, I just can't do it, even though it was just right there.
yeah, your mind always gives up before your body does. So if you guys are struggling
And
with
what
your
was
mental
that
game,
what was that simile, or that thing that you said? You were talking about the rock, and
Oh.
the new trees.
We were
Love that.
like running through this area, and it was pretty much all like rocky cliffs almost, and then like a gravelly kind of trail. But there were so many trees growing through these rocks, and I was like, see, just look at the trees and the rocks around you. It shows you that you can grow through hard things.
Ah!
Oh my
Bazinga!
God.
Who is the rock star?
Yeah. So I'm pretty much gonna start like writing a lifestyle and wisdom book, because I'm like so full of knowledge.
She's like a goddess, I tell ya.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
But,
and she won
yeah.
a prize there too.
Oh yeah, I got a free pair of gloves.
Woo, woo, woo. And then they
Yay.
called Lori out for
Oh.
one of the jewelry prizes, but it was like Lori Schmidt or something. Like, what the hell?
Go
Lori
away.
Douglas was
Lori
the right
Schmidt.
name.
Yeah.
Should have pushed her on the course. Even
Rolled her
mine.
down the hill. Bye, Lori.
Lori!
Lori. But yeah, that was
Oh.
our run, and then we went out for lunch and
To
got
Rebar, new
coffee.
restaurant. I love it.
Rebar in
Well,
Victoria.
not a
So
new
good.
restaurant to me or to Holly or her sister, because they frequent that place quite often, but I'd never been there,
So good.
and it was very good.
Yeah.
And we
then-
had brunch. We had
Yeah.
eggs. I had a mushroom Benny, mushroom and something Benny.
I had an omelet, potatoes,
Yum.
toast. It was very good.
So good.
And then we went to Starbucks and Lululemon and the running room and
Mountain equipment. Got a new
Yes.
jacket. Running room.
Yeah.
Got some new runners. Woo!
she did
Happy
more shopping than I
Valentine's Day
did.
to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yahoo! Anyway, that's our little run recap.
And
So,
we're at Holly's house,
Yes.
so we have to be done because the doggies won't let us do any more videoing.
Yes, very true.
Yeah.
So, thank you for watching, guys.
Woohoo!
Bye.
Bye!